are live. Wink, wink. Ping pong. Wink, wink. Are live.
Happy Monday, everybody. We are live March 25th, 2019. The podcast that brings you the most.
You didn't think that sentence through, so you got to finish it. Let's go. What do you got?
Brings you the most green sweaters.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
And watches.
He's like a
and
7-year-old. He just looks around the room
beards.
now. Oh, boy. Here we go.
Happy to be here. If you want to text in to be part of the live show, you can do that anonymously. 314-669-1431. We always check the Facebook comments as well. So thank you to everybody for tuning in. We've got the Great American Race today. My name is Chris Denman. That's Travis Terrell. We're joined in studio by the curator of the video stream, the holder of Fair or Foul Topics, Mr. Chris Gardner on the Possum Cam. Good morning.
There he is.
Good placement today. Your watch is on fleek, Travis.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Looks like you're just staring at his watch, Gardner, on the screen.
Yeah, you check it out. Want some of that bling? Want some of that? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, right? That's pretty nice, right?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Tough weekend for Gardner. He's dealing with the loss of a Kansas Jayhawk basketball team. How are you, buddy?
Good. First, let me say.
You do it. You do it. You
morning,
do it.
Walnut.
Ooh, put him up.
Doesn't
Put him
forget
up.
his people.
Pew, 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 pew.
Doesn't forget his people.
I did
Ever.
okay because I only saw 4 minutes of the game and it was late in the second half, actually.
So do you do
I
the
missed the entire game.
you do you do the thing
You had a
where
thing going on, right?
Yes, I had a dinner party
That's right.
in Chesterfield.
Yep.
So I was there.
So you went out to Chesterfield County.
I did.
And you had dinner. You made you made plans. You already had obligations.
Yes,
And essentially you made a promise to the lady that you were going to be fully focused on dinner.
I was.
And you were, surprisingly. I didn't see a tweet. I didn't see a comment of any kind.
I only checked the score when I would take a smoke break.
That's pretty good.
Because we were having very engaging conversation, though. Too.
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
What did the topics cover?
I'm not going to get into all
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Private.
Oh,
Yeah.
Means they
boy.
were talking about black people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that. I know that. I know what that means.
It was, no, one of Jess, there's a group that she goes out with annually for Dine Out for Life, and one of them is moving to Florida, so it was a going away party.
Oh, how nice.
We had,
Dine out to not be part of your life.
yeah, for now, but we had the pork loin, and the pork loin with a cream sauce.
Is he going to do that Cusimano thing where you
Had
just
some
completely get
apricot on
intimate?
it.
And here we
Start
go.
grunting.
Ever had
Something
And
a
he
slice
starts.
of pineapple
He's
with
on his
sweet
way.
potatoes on top?
That do so
Just a
good.
little crisp.
That does sound very delicious. I hear you. I feel you, play. I understand where you're coming from.
So it was delightful, a delightful evening.
Now,
The wine was flowing as I watched everyone drink.
a little
Anybody wanna
resentment in
go-
your voice when you said that.
I'll have some tea, thank you.
Anybody want to go out for a third pack of cigarettes?
Yeah, I'm gonna go smoke again.
Question. Now that you did this was huge. This is a big moment for you in that you put aside something you absolutely love to make sure you were committed to plans that you had made with your lady friend.
Yes.
Does this now mean that Gardner has established some credit to be used later on down the line?
I would assume so because she even thanked me again yesterday. for going.
Nice.
Was it?
Nice.
Did you get
She
the extra
saw-
thank you because
we
KU
did
lost?
it.
Um,
Oh, it could have been that. Could have been that.
actually, you know what it was? We were sitting on the couch. She was like on Instagram looking at different pasta meals or something that she wants to make coming up. And
Oh, that looks nice.
I was watching
delicious.
the Duke Central Florida game and was kind of into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that reminded
Taco
her
time.
about how I get into college hoops. And she's like, I wanted to thank you again for setting
Being a
aside
good
some
little boy.
time.
Nice.
And I'm like, okay,
Nice.
okay.
So
this
now
is
you
good.
have earned yourself a hall
Yeah.
pass. How do you plan on using it?
I don't know if a hall
No,
pass
I
is
feel like you just. I
necessarily
feel
what
like I
that's
think
Crowd
if you.
bang a bunch of strange when she's at
Yeah,
a
I
concert
feel like
or
I
something?
think with March Madness, for you
That-
to miss a March Madness game,
that
is
wouldn't
that
work.
not a full bona fide hall pass?
That wouldn't work for me anyway.
Okay.
Here's what you have to realize, Travis. I have Irish heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And I was raised Catholic, so there is a level of double guilt involved with anything you do in your life, which is probably why I'm constantly filled with anxiety.
That makes sense.
Right.
Is because of just everything I do, I probably feel guilty about. For
I thought you were going to say
absolutely
I do
no
it for
reason.
you.
a good song. I do like that. But it was fine. And even earlier that Saturday, we took a little drive. So I set aside Saturday for her.
Nice.
We went out to it's the Columbia Bottoms in North County.
Oh, wow.
She's like, "Are we near where the bobbleheads are?"
Yeah,
I'm like,
you're
"It's not
in the
bobbleheads."
vicinity. You were close.
Columbia
He
Bottoms.
was close.
Columbia Bottoms, 3-time annual alternative lifestyle Metro East softball champions. Get them, boys. Columbia Bottoms. Who would their first baseman be?
Go to JJ's.
God,
and find
I was
out.
going to say, they
Yeah.
took out JJ's Bears and just a thrilling
JJ's.
matchup
That would be a hell of a JJ's Bears.
Yeah.
That'd be a great softball
versus Columbia Bottoms.
team. Slow pitch rec league in Forest Park. That'd be perfect. But it's where they're going to put the new zoo stuff
That's right.
that they voted on in North County. So
Oh, the live where you can pay to watch a cheetah eat something alive? That's what I hope they do.
it looks like Jess even said when we drove
Oh,
down
they
there,
can
she's
roam
like,
free.
"Oh, they should put like a Jurassic Park thing here." When you get to, I go, "No, that's not what's happening here.
So y'all gonna put the Jurassic Park thing in the predominantly black North County neighborhoods?
Better get your mind
This
right.
is not a neighborhood." I did look around there because it's right on the river, and I go, "I wonder if you could be homeless here. This would work." I ask myself that a lot.
I
about
noticed.
You
places.
do that a lot. I
noticed
think
I
men
feel
do
like
that. You're like, if it all went wrong, I'd take
No.
a shower at the YMCA and sleep in a
Yeah.
Walmart. Yeah.
I do that all the time.
People really do that?
Yeah.
Why?
Don't you wonder about
Well, you live it.
society?
You just do it.
That's a good point.
Like if it just
Travis,
completely
like, what do
goes
you?
to hell?
I just been doing it.
And then we went over to Sioux Passage Park in North County.
Oh,
That's where I used to run a cross country meet back in my high school days.
that's where
every
the
year.
old
This is really
Hazelwood
interesting.
East alums used to run when they ran track.
Manmaker Hill. Went and visited Manmaker Hill.
Bring back any old memories where you used to
Yes.
stop and, bang girls out in the middle of your
Wow.
marathon
No.
and then keep running.
It reminded me of when I first saw Manmaker Hill as a freshman, and our coach on the bus
I don't want to be a man.
said, I went and roll a barrel down that hill, and from the back of the bus, Mr. Gardner yelled out, "No shit, I'd ski down it. Gardner, watch it."
Good for you.
What an origin story I would love to see.
Yeah.
That is the Chris Gardner story. What a delightful
Big
story. that
weekend
would
for
be.
you, huh?
Yeah. So I made it okay.
Good for you.
Without
We'll take full advantage
my
of that.
expectations weren't high for Kansas, so I'm gonna do okay. Now he's got a dodgy NCAA. That shouldn't be too hard.
Now, where do you fall on the dudes giving you trouble, like taking more? Again, here's where I've kind of laid off the Kansas folks as a Mizzou fan. Mizzou hasn't really been stepping it up.
That ain't got nothing to do with anything.
Where do you fall on the
That's all they
people
have.
taking pleasure in your
Well, I
losses?
mean, that's all they have.
First off, don't compare. Don't let Chris trick you in thinking that he's a Mizzou fan. Only he's a Mizzou fan when it's convenient.
He asked me a question. I'm simply answering.
No, and I just want to make it. I want to make the
I've
audience
said
very
this
Travis
before.
is
Chris has
projecting.
Chris hasn't seen one damn Mizzou anything
You
this
don't
season.
have
And
anything
he's not
that
going to sit up here and call himself a Mizzou fan
watched
and
that-
say he's going to take it easy on the KU folks.
I
There's
watched
no
that.
such thing as taking it
I
easy.
got in Sophie Cunningham's DMs like
Oh,
twice.
don't be
Okay,
fake
that's not
tough
bad.
guy. That's fake tough
Fake
guy.
tough.
Yes, it is.
Fake tough. I would slap the out of a Kansas fan right now.
No, I'm right here.
Well, that's different.
I'm right here. Do
We
it.
literally
work,
have a
we
chance.
work
Do it
together.
and find out what happens.
I care for you.
Uh-huh.
I like you.
Because I wouldn't respond with violence, Travis.
He'd probably get naked.
Can your credit score get lower? I'll find a way to make
That
that
is
happen.
not how it's supposed to
Oh,
work.
that's how exactly. You ever been audited?
That's a good point.
That's how I function.
You can't just yell racism at the IRS, mister.
Yeah,
That's
can.
just
You,
not
it
how it
just
works.
doesn't stop because it's IRS. That's not how this works.
It's just they don't have anything to root for. They only have something to root
I
against.
have nothing to root against. You're KU.
That's
you're
exactly what you're doing.
a
That's
terrible,
exactly what
corrupt
it is.
school. You have been
Worst
given
mascot
so
in
many.
in all of
Oh,
sports.
really? Which program just got?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
What program? What a pro? Oh,
Football?
Did you see that tweet? It was like
Hey,
North
come on.
Carolina literally set up a shadow freaking program for
Now I
athletes to go through.
disagree with what has happened to the Mizzou football program. You can't just go out.
Not
with
just
a corrupt
football, dude.
program and
Isn't it the
just
whole everybody?
not realize that what your athletic department's going through. That's ridiculous.
to give KU folks a hard time. I better get out of my face. I'm gonna give them a hard time to the day I die. You know why? Because it's KU.
I
don't
wouldn't
need a
not give
reason
a
to
hard
hate
time.
KU.
It's just do you want your happiness based on
You hate
whatever?
free states?
Do you want your happiness based?
Is that
on
what you
whatever-
hate? You hate free states?
I love freedom.
Good point.
That's interesting. Not. Apparently not.
Look, I'm gonna hate KU to the day I die.
That's
just the
fine.
way that it is.
That's good.
I don't need to have
Logical.
Mizzou to have a good basketball or football season for me to justify my hate of KU. There's a reason why they're our rival. And we hate them. I don't care if Mizzou is under investigation. I don't care if Mizzou goes 0 for 12 in the SEC. I don't give a damn.
Okay.
I'm going to hate the Jayhawks to the end of time. That's just in my blood. I grew up in the state of Missouri. I didn't pick the rules. I sure the hell didn't get a chance to pick who was a free state and who was a slave state. But I live in Missouri. Born in Missouri. Raised in Missouri. And it's in my blood to hate everything that's Kansas. That's just the way it is.
That's fine. You're talking about hating something.
Yeah,
not
I do. I hate it.
Because you have nothing to root for.
No, I root for a lot of things.
Really?
I root to hate KU.
You ever driven through Kansas?
I have. It's a terrible state.
Yeah.
It is difficult.
It is very gross.
All right. I think that's a coyote. That's all.
It
That's
is
all,
a
that's all you
ve-
do.
it-
drive
I'm
through
not-
there.
and I'm not
then
even-
what do they call? What's that area? They call it. It's just so stupid. It looks like something. They're like the foothills or something area on the way when you're driving through, and you're like, that's called a mild hump.
People
on
don't
the
even
ground.
people don't
Well,
even,
the only hill in Kansas is where Lawrence is. It's Mount Orion.
that's and the beauty thing is, and
Because Lawrence is a very hilly campus.
very hilly campus. It's annoyingly hilly. And the thing about Kansas folks, especially alums, they may work in Kansas. They may have gone to school in Kansas. But ask them, where do they live? Missouri. They live on this side of the border
Do they?
because its life is better.
A lot of people live in Overland Park, though.
Overextended park.
Yeah.
Thank you. Get their ass,
That's what I'm
Chris.
saying.
Get their ass, Chris. Get them. Elitist.
Who?
I don't know.
What'd you do with your weekend there, Trevi?
Well, I checked out a very...
You can just tell the truth. You don't have to come up with some cool story.
I saw the phenomenal
saw the sparks
Jordan
coming out of his
Peele's
ears.
movie Us. I saw Us in theaters, and boy, oh boy.
Let me guess, it was bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can't imagine there's a good review coming of this one.
It was an amazing film.
So we were just discussing this. So online, I have a good mix of friends or whatever. It's not all one type of person. So there are people that either say that's the worst movie I've seen, or there's folks like you, several. You're not the only one that have given it a paragraph's worth of an update about how amazing and talented and just wonderful the whole film was. So interesting that there's a little bit of, I don't know, a little parody in there.
Shocker, in today's society, there's no gray area.
Right. What's it doing on Rotten Tomatoes? Looks like you're looking that up.
It is a
Get Out was universally like, ooh, that was good, right?
is a 94,
I mean, again, couldn't have seen that coming.
and you'll like this score. Audience score 69.
Nice. I think the audience score in something like this may be a little more trustworthy, right?
Man, you don't get to critique a film if you haven't seen it. If y'all not gonna go out and actually see the movie, then I don't want
I
to sit
didn't
up
say I
here.
wasn't gonna see
Y'all
the
go
movie.
see. Y'all go sit
All
up
I
here.
did was
Y'all
say-
go do it, man.
Wait,
Y'all
Black
do it for Black
Klansman.
Panther. Y'all
Black
do this every
Klansman.
time, man. Every time y'all is a predominantly black movie that come out,
No.
y'all gotta wait for everybody else to say something about it for y'all to go see it. Y'all ain't gonna take the time. It was one of the most popular films. It set records over the weekend.
Well, you don't
and both
sound
of y'all,
defensive at all.
no, because I'm sick and tired of y'all up here getting up here on this damn show, up here critiquing a movie that is world. Thank you, Gardner. I'm sick and tired of it.
Crushing at the box office.
This is crushing at the box office, critically acclaimed. People are enjoying this film, and you two Nimrods don't even get out of bed to go down the street to check out the movie and then want to get on this damn show sitting up here. Well, I heard somebody say down the street they wrote a paragraph about they didn't care for the movie. Go see the movie your damn self then. I'm sick of this mess. Y'all don't support anything. Chris
love
want to
how-
take the time to go see damn Krampus. Saw it 2 times. Saw it twice. In theaters. And they want to sit up here and be like, well, I heard somebody say on Facebook they didn't like us. Get your lazy ass out of damn bed and go check out the damn movie yourself. Before, ooh, they read on Facebook. Got time to go to Facebook. Got time for them, but ain't got time for us. Time for them, but ain't got time for us. Do you see it? Y'all see it? Y'all see what's happening.
So
Thank you.
Jamie Warriors Fancy Foyer wants to know, was Us better than Black Klansman?
Yes.
Did you see Black Klansman?
I saw the trailer.
You just said we can't criticize the movie.
Can you replay
Because we
his
have-
rant
Did
at
I say
himself?
that? Did I say that?
You son of a bitch.
I may have blacked out there. I don't know.
Why is it going to be blackout?
That's a good question.
Thank you. It's a negative connotation with that.
It was a fun movie. Look, I don't know what
It
people
was
go
a
to.
horror movie. How
Does
was
it
it a
look
fun
fun?
movie?
That's the thing. That's the thing. I go to movies to be entertained. I want to laugh.
I think you go to movies for social credit.
No, not at all.
When's the last?
No, I don't. Why do I care about this? If that was the case, then I would have ran to the theaters to go see Black Klansman. No, what I do, I like to go see movies that
See
are
Green Book?
Man, I didn't see
How do
that
you know it wasn't
dumbass
good?
movie.
How do you know it's dumbass?
Because I saw the dumbass movie.
You didn't see it.
I did see it.
So you did see it
I saw Green Book.
in theaters?
Hell no, I'm gonna get that on bootleg with the quickness. What I look like paying to go see Green Book? I'm gonna get that off the interwebs. I look like grown ass man.
Forget about it.
But I ain't
I'm
gonna-
Viggo Mortensen.
But it's a damn you people.
Black Sheep, get out of bed to see the movie. Guess we live different lives because when I wake up, the movies aren't playing yet. You tell on yourself a lot in these situations.
It's a nice 10 o'clock showing at the Galleria if you want to go check it out. No, I thought it was as far as.
I have a clip if you want.
Yeah, please. Let's fire it up. Fire up the clip. We got a clip? No boy. I
Of
like
who?
I like clips.
Let's take a look at what you're talking about here.
Okay.
Okay, let's call the cops.
I did. They're 14 minutes away.
What? 14 minutes? Okay. Jason, give me the bat.
What bat?
The baseball bat. The bat. There's one in the corner.
Here.
Thank you.
Gabe.
All right, hold on. I got this. Let's try this again.
Gabe.
No. All right.
Gabe!
I got this.
Oh, Howard.
Now, I thought I already done told y'all to get off my property, okay? So if y'all want to get crazy, we can get crazy. Now, the cops are already on their way. Hey.
That's weird.
Hey!
Triangulated.
That is from one of the very tense moments throughout the film. I go to movies to be greatly entertained. I like
Interview
to laugh.
yourself.
I like
Interview
to be
yourself.
scared.
Why do
I
you like to go to movies, Travis?
I like whodunits. I like what's going to happen. I don't like to know the end of a movie. I don't like to be able to guess how the movie's going to end the first 15, 20 minutes in. And the movie does a brilliant job of dragging you along with tension and horror and just suspense. It's a great watch. I suggest everyone go do so. It was a lot of fun. Jordan Peele, I honestly believe, has changed the genre. I know a lot of these horror films, it's very easy to be overly gory or have the jump scares, and it kind of takes away from the creativity. It kind of takes away from the performances. But in this movie,
Well, he's making these like good. Like if this is anywhere along the style of Get Out, it's much more layered. Like I can't stand the. Oh, there's a scary ghost,
Right.
and they're in a different world, and
Right.
now somebody's head got cut off, and
Right.
nobody's thought to call the police. You know what I mean? Like there's what little like this is way different.
that
So
people,
I need to see
I
the
think
movie.
over the
but-
years, people have cheapened the genre a little bit. You've had some successful hits here and there, but I think over time, people have cheapened the genre that is horror, and it's really cool to see a guy like Jordan Peele kind of make it to add
Who's
depth to
cheapened
it.
it? Do you know anyone in particular?
I
Or
was
is there a style you think that's cheapened it?
What about that movie where the guy's always trapping people?
the Saw
Yeah,
movies.
like those are disgusting.
Yeah, those are just very gory. You've seen the Final Destinations; they can be very gory.
Final Destination.
It was like
With
8 of
Devon
them.
Sawa.
It was like 9 of those things.
Nice.
But I think what he's done, you can be very nuanced and creative when it comes to the horror genre. And Jordan Peele has taken risk. I like artists who take risk, even if they fail, even if it's, oh, that's not what I expected. I like the fact that when an artist is saying, look, I'm willing to take this risk because I don't know how many chances I'm going to get at making a movie or a project like this. And I think with the success of Get Out, I think it has given him room to explore different aspects of the horror genre. And I think he does that here. To Chris's point, he's kind of modified it to the point where it's a psychological horror thriller. Like, it's not, like I said, just insane murder and blood. It's more story. It has an overall meaning than just, oh God, the kid that died at summer camp while the camp counselors were having sex now comes back alive and risen from the water.
Sounds like a good film.
That was.
Are you saying Friday the 13th isn't good?
Friday the 13th was good for its time, but I think a genre over time should evolve, and I think Jordan Peele
Are we
exemplifies that, at least in this movie.
Are we
certainly.
taking comments from the Facebook feed?
Please, what comments? I'm sure they're insightful and delightful.
TT's pink eye. How much yelling and talking at the screen was there? Racist as hell? Question
Oh,
mark.
wait. What theater did you see this in?
Yeah, fair question.
I saw this out in South County. Saw it at Ronnie's.
Oh, he's handpicked a place.
Oh, I went to a place where I wanted to see how.
You whitewashed this, baby.
Yeah.
Sure did. I wanted to see how y'all was gonna react. I wanted to check out the theater and see
no.
what kind of. I wanted to see if I
You
was gonna
didn't
find somebody to
trust-
go get them Negroes.
You didn't trust your people to stay quiet, or you would have been at the Esquire.
Yeah,
because
you
that
should've
is the
been
most.
at the Esquire.
Esquire is where you see that.
Camera 3 me.
Hold on. Jeez.
Damn, Skippy, I didn't trust y'all black ass. Y'all ain't ruining the movie for me. I know better. Oh, I know better.
So you went to the White
Hell
Theater.
yeah, I went to the white. Y'all ain't interrupting. I'm up here. Y'all ain't gonna have me missing story points because y'all want to add some extra commentary. No, y'all ain't gonna hit me with the, hey, oh my God, hey, watch out, girl. Y'all ain't doing that in my movie.
So you went
20
racist
minutes?
as hell. You went 40 minutes out of your way to ensure a pleasant white picket fence.
Now, why you gotta
experience.
assume it's pleasant because it went out to a white movie theater?
Pleasant would be quiet in a pleasant viewing experience.
I mean, people were keeping their commentary to themselves, but that's beside the point.
So where you live to South
What the hell
County
are you
is
doing in South County?
at least 40 minutes. At least 40 minutes.
Look, I did the same thing with Black Panther when I went out to West County.
Which movie did you see? Which theater did you see that one at?
What
I
a
saw that one at West
strategy.
Island.
West Out. Was that the first time or the second time?
The second time I saw it,
Because the first time it shut off midway through, right?
second time I saw that Creep Core. Look, man, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
you're
I'm just
appropriating
saying. I'm
movies.
not.
No, stick with your
This
culture.
is amazing.
Embrace your culture and how they watch movies.
Yeah, that
I'm
may be-
so happy.
You're appropriating white culture in the way you watch movies now.
I
You went to Ronnie's.
went to Ronnie's. I like
Did you
experiencing.
go to Applebee's beforehand?
And I thought about
He
it.
had to make a day of it.
I
And
almost-
out that.
almost did.
See, you can keep
Maybe
cred.
stop by a strip mall and buy a nice pair of jeans
I
beforehand?
did consider buying some new.
He can
Levi's
keep
while I was
cred
out
and go
that
to
way.
Red Lobster though, right? So then you could cover your
I
tracks
had
a
a,
little.
at a
Be like,
54th Street diner out there, so that would have worked to my favor. Look, I went out there
Kinkle
because
said you went with him to do the popcorn bucket thing.
Oh, for the love of God! Can you at least? Can you,
What did Black Sheep ask? I
Mm,
interrupted
Pringles.
that. I'm sorry.
When?
Did he ask a question to Travis and I interrupted and asked what theater it was?
Who cares?
Okay.
Yeah.
The way Travis was talking, I had to jump in there.
Oh, of course.
I needed to know. And I'm glad I asked because
Yeah,
that's not good for you.
it is good for me. Look.
Oh,
It's
is it?
important that.
Or what you should be saying is like, I'm looking to embrace other cultures too and learn more.
Well, y'all don't have culture, but I am embracing
You mean we don't have culture?
your delightful, clean carpets at your movie theaters,
It's interesting. Isn't
and I do enjoy the variety that you have on your movie theater menus.
Hmm.
The parking is vast, a lot of parking, plenty of parking, and it's also a secured parking lot.
You
I
risked
embrace
getting
that.
pulled over in
Boy,
South
did I.
County, St.
And I
Louis.
went late too. I went like at 10 o'clock, so I absolutely did risk being
Did you do some
potentially
cruising
pulled
down
over.
there? Kids used to cruise Lindbergh.
No,
Didn't
I
they do
ain't
that?
cruise, man. As soon as I
Still
got out of that
do?
movie theater, like me and my friends, we wanted to discuss what we had just watched, but at the same time,
went
we
with
all looked at
friends?
each other. Yeah, we all looked at each other and we all said, "Nah, we good, play. Let's just hop on this highway and get out of Dodge as quickly as
you
possible."
go somewhere else and discuss it?
No, we discussed it through the group chat the following day.
I am so happy about this. This is the most amazing thing I've heard in like 24 hours.
No, but you guys do know what that means now. when you go see your movies, especially this summer, you have to go to the urban movie theaters.
Oh, no,
and
no,
there's
no.
excuse
You've
for that.
abandoned them.
No, I haven't abandoned anything.
You've abandoned
I'm
the
sorry.
urban
I tried to
movie theater
expand my
experience.
horizons. You sit up here every day and tell me, Travis,
don't
you
think
need to
so.
stop. Just doing the black community thing, man. You should really venture
literally
out.
never been
and
said.
like you were just telling me this the other day, like, hey, man, you're going to be going to New York, so you're going to need to really accustom yourself to the people that are white that look like me, man. White power, right? And I was like, Chris, you can't be saying white power.
It's like I'm looking at myself
Right, it
right
is. I
now.
was like, damn, Chris, you don't be saying. I was like, man, don't worry about it, man. I'm thinking about taking this internship with Breitbart. And I was like, man, you're really going too far. But the fact that I went out to
They pay well?
Ronnie's,
Do they pay anything?
I'm about to call Alex Jones my damn self. I will say this.
Get to it later. You've been
It was a
frequenting
delightful
right-wing
experience.
websites, so.
You guys had lit parking lots, and there was security, and it was very
Did you get any
enjoyable.
food?
I've mentioned it before,
Hell no.
but I don't know if I can go to the Esquire because my lawyer went there when he was an undergrad. A couple of white girls
Yeah?
were with him.
Oh, boy.
They
Did it
went
turn
to-
into an episode from Black?
They went to see Blue Street with Martin Lawrence
Oh.
on opening weekend.
Oh.
And it went out,
Yeah?
and it got a little rowdy in
I
there.
bet it
And he
did.
said, we need to get out of here.
Yeah?
So ever since
Did
then,
he lose a white girl? You mentioned 2 white girls. Did one get lost?
Came back with one.
I know one made it out. I'll have to confirm the other.
I hear the new Esquire, though, is very nice. They've kind of modified it. They've renovated it over the last year or two.
He said-
So I haven't been in it because I don't have time to
He
go to
said
movies all the
somebody
time.
sitting like 2 seats behind him, knowing that they were right in front of him, yelled out, "Kill Whitey!" While they were there. He's
Oh,
like,
really?
"Ah," and he's like, "Ah, you're cool, you're cool."
We have a movie review being texted in. Well, that movie's crap. We all know cops don't go to black houses except to shoot people and sprinkle crack on them.
That's the brilliance of this movie.
Makes you think.
No,
Yeah.
but you have to
Do
see
your
the movie.
research.
To that comment's point, there's a moment in the film.
Don't run with this comment.
No, I am because you bring up a point that Jordan Peele knew that those like you who did not see the movie would say about the film.
It's been out 1 weekend.
It's been out 4 whole days. Well, what have you been doing the last 4 days? What did you do yesterday?
Hanging out with celebrities,
Oh God.
breathing air,
Oh God.
country air, good,
here we go.
fresh, freedom air.
Freedom air. Mm-hmm. That's some racism.
I don't know where you went with
What
that.
did you do over the weekend, Chris? Did you meet a famous comedian at a food restaurant and take a adorable picture with him?
Did you call it a food restaurant?
Maybe.
What is your? I'm asking.
You ever wonder like what
What's your
we're
favorite
doing
food
here?
restaurant in
Like,
St.
what's-
Louis?
Certain people have become president. You have people that run large corporations, people that run charities, help families. Do you ever just stop and say, what are we doing here? What's happening? When you say things like food restaurant, that makes me think, what are we doing here?
I mean, it was right. Is it not a food
As opposed to
inside
like
of
what?
the restaurant?
As opposed to like what, a boot restaurant?
It could be candles. It could be placemats. It could just be a restaurant, nothing but bathrooms. Some people don't serve food in their restaurants. I mean, who says a restaurant has to serve food?
Could just be for resting around.
Thank you.
Let me take a look here.
Oh boy, he's gonna
actually,
Google it. Oh, let me get your little elitist internet's gonna tell you some facts.
Well, I'm just gonna look up the definition of a restaurant.
Chris, you took pictures with a celebrity. Who's a celebrity, Chris? Let me guess. Somebody that you heard on a podcast that you listen to 4 days a week? Who was it? Who is the celebrity, Chris? Was it, let me guess, another comedian? Somebody that knew Ian Bagg, and you threw Ian Bagg's name around, and you pretended to know him like that? Let me guess. Who was it? Was it somebody that you saw
Grover.
on Marin?
I met Grover.
Let me guess. He was
I
on
met
Marin
Grover.
3 times, and then he
I
knew
met
Dave
Grover.
He knew David Allen Greer, and David Allen
Met
Greer. You know, he did
Grover.
Maya Angelou on In Living Color. Who was the celebrity you met, Chris?
I had a meeting Friday with the great Casey Reeves. We decided to meet up at Casey Reeves performs the song that Travis tries to get rid of once a week that he created, wrote, and recorded just for us, which is very unique and very nice.
4 years ago.
And you haven't come up with a solution since.
It's called Free YouTube Instrumentals.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Super unique. So we meet up. We go there. We go see our buddy John Pizzatola over at the Midwestern. Look out for a Treview of the Midwestern later this week, by the way. So we're there, and we're talking about this festival coming up, having this great meeting, and we kind of wind things down. And an older gentleman I see with gray hair slides in behind us at a table,
Like, oh, Gardner.
and my star-searching ass recognizes him as one Lewis Black.
Oh.
Yeah, you know him.
Lewis Black.
Best ranter
Back in black. The best ranter
in the business,
in the
man.
biz.
He's so good. He's so funny, and he was extremely polite, extremely nice. I posted some stuff like, hey, we walked up to him and asked if we could just take a picture to make it look like we'd been meeting with him the whole time. In reality, we chit-chatted for about half an hour, and he was super nice. And if his food wasn't coming out, I would have very, very much overstated things and made him come up here for a podcast at
Not
Midcoast
I like-
Studios.
Not awkward at all.
I like how we found out he was there with you.
How did you
Because
find out?
it was Friday,
Afternoon.
early Friday evening, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis sends us a text, and I actually have a screen grab of the text.
Yeah, put that bad
interaction we
boy
had
up.
here.
Yep.
This is how people treat me in my own group text. This is
Travis says, Robert Mueller is done with his report. Chris responds with a picture of our thoughts. Lewis Black, and is that Casey with you?
Yep.
With middle fingers showing.
By the way, he made us take that. We went
Yeah.
to because Casey. He's like, "Hey, do you mind if we grab a picture?" He's like, "Oh, we got it, and you got to do it right." He insisted on that, so I was very happy about that.
very much.
Yeah.
I responded with, ha. Travis saying, what is happening?
I had to be so confused.
And then
Very
one
confusing.
of the better lines Travis has come up with
That's
as of
pretty good.
late,
Pretty good.
the only black Chris will publicly hang out with.
Yes, it's perfect.
That was good.
It's pretty funny.
And accurate.
Probably a better line than Us, the movie.
Mhm.
But
I agree. Better writing.
that's just because it's a really good line, though, Travis. That's a 98 line on Rotten Tomatoes.
A
Thank
cool,
you.
a cool thing happened with this. As we're sitting there BSing, and somehow David Allen Greer's name came up, and so I had tweeted this photo out, and I quote tweeted it, and I said, and while we were talking with Lewis, he said, you know, I'm responsible that everybody knows David Allen Greer for stand-up, and I was like, what? He's like, I'm not kidding. He was, I talked him into it. So I tweeted David Allen Greer, and just kind of laughed about it, like, oh yeah. And then he confirmed it
Sure did.
on Twitter. So if you can't read it, if you're just listening on iTunes or wherever, so I sent out the tweet, just accidentally interviewed the real Lewis Black before he got his food out because I have no boundaries, and then plugged going to see him at the theater. Quote tweeted, it said, he says he's responsible for the world knowing your immense talent, and tagged David Allen Greer. David Allen Greer responds, which he's known to do with me over the last 7 years, which is weird. It's true. He's the one who talked me into doing stand-up for the first time ever after hanging out at a party. Hashtag love Lewis Black.
That's awesome.
Isn't that great? That's fantastic.
That's really
I
awesome.
loved seeing that. Yeah.
That's really cool that it.
Who are you going to thank for your success? Big Bird? Other folks that have appeared on the radio show
You know
throughout
who
years?
damn well I'm gonna thank for my success.
Who?
My Lord Jesus.
Oh,
and
my. There he goes.
Savior.
There he
what
is.
I look like? Y'all understand?
that's true.
in the
Did you?
my Lord Jesus and Savior.
That's not the right order.
That's how you say it.
I don't know about that.
Birch loved him and accepted. Did he play the principal and accept? I never saw that movie.
I have not seen that.
That was where they took over a high school or something, or made a college out of something.
Lewis Black is an original, man. He's
Yeah.
an original, and like the work, like he kind of, for a while before Jon Stewart hit his stride, he kind of did his best to keep the Daily Show afloat. Like you remember, people think the Daily Show was a hit as soon as Jon Stewart sat in the chair, and that wasn't the case at all. And it was guys like Lewis Black who had longer stand-up comedian cred that kind of gave credibility to the show. So
With
he's
the Back in Black segment.
yeah, the Back in Black segment, like that was
I
one of the
still
more.
think back to my favorite one of those it was right after the congressional hearings about PEDs in Major League Baseball.
Yes.
It was like, and Lewis is going through he's not really talking about testimony all that much, but they're showing shots of McGuire, Palmeiro, Sosa.
Right.
Takes like a jab at Sosa's lawyer or something like that. But the point of his Back in Black segment this go round was that these guys were all using performance enhancing drugs, and then he lists off his heroes in baseball like Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle and Babe Ruth. who used performance inhibiting drugs and still see. So he was like, bring back these drugs. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. And then even recently, Jess and I had watched the Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with him and Seinfeld.
Ah, yes.
And he's like eating an omelet, and it's like he's got egg flying everywhere. It was Seinfeld's comedy. And he's like, yeah, you kind of eat like you talk. Yeah, I kind of expected this.
I was pleasantly surprised. The man was showing up to a Midwestern barbecue spot and watching a bunch of basketball. I was like, Lewis Black, good guy.
And
he's been with Kathleen Madigan for I don't know how many years,
Yeah.
so he's familiar with St. Louis. But he'd said that. He goes, oh, Kathleen and I are, I've been around. He said something about being around. I go, whew, thanks. I didn't want to bring it up and know you guys didn't know if you guys had broke up or something. And he's like, no, we're still, we're doing a charity event in South Carolina a month, he was saying. So it was a unique experience, good chat.
Did you
Wish
ask-
I would have been recording, but that would have been.
Did you
pushing
ask
it
him
too
why
far.
he didn't make time for our show?
He actually, and I don't want to disparage anyone at the Great Stiefel Theater.
This is disappointing now.
He
actually, when
gave
Chris
me,
told
this is quite disappointing because he would have came on our show, would have been happy to, he said. He was livid and felt the press obligations from folks had not been met. And I go, it's like 3 o'clock, and I'm like, I can text 101 ESPN and get you on. Do you want to call into a sports station right now? He's like, F them. He's like, they didn't do their job. It's too late. He goes, I sell out everywhere. This will be the first time I haven't sold out in a while.
Because I'm not even trying to be funny. I didn't know he was in town this
Yeah.
week. That's why I was shocked by
I remember
the photo.
seeing it in passing, and then when I saw him, I go, oh yeah.
I hadn't seen, and again, I don't know how Stiefel marketing works, and I'm not
I'm sure they do a
chastising
million
anybody.
things.
I'm
This
sure
was
they
one man's opinion.
right, but I didn't know. That's why I was shocked by the photo. I didn't realize he was in town this weekend. Of course, we try to make an effort to reach out to as many comedians that make their time available when they come into town, so they can sit down here on this show. But yeah, I didn't know he was here, so it was. I wish I would have known. I probably would have made my way on down to Stiefel.
Did I, as part of Midcoast Media and We Are Live, did I miss an opportunity for a guy who is super? It was a very disarmed conversation. He's like, we did talk. Actually, we did. He's like, oh, you worked with Ian Bagg? Like, oh my gosh, I knew him in New York when he had a mullet, and it was the 90s.
You had a hockey mullet?
He did. He was a kid from rural Canada that had a big old hockey mullet. But did I miss an opportunity, since we were 10 blocks away, to, after he's done, say, hey, you got half an hour? You want to go knock this out? Or did I get the absolute best of what was appropriate there?
Sometimes
that's how I felt.
That's
Because
tough.
part of me, and I was texting a comic friend, and she was saying, oh, she's like, I don't know, you could have gone for it. And I was like, I feel like it was perfect because it was very affable, made sure to repeat my name, shake my hand back to me like 2 or 3 times. I was like, yeah, he'll remember saying hi to me. And next time through, maybe we do it through the right properties. He very much felt like a guy who would be like, yeah, let's go. But didn't want to overdo it because it quickly goes from very memorable, nice experience to, take it easy, dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
You would have been. I would have.
He's like, I just ate barbecue.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to go sleep before my show.
Yeah, I would
flew
have
in
hit
from
you
New
with
York.
the take it easy, bro. Yeah, I think you did right to just. I think he'll likely come back through town again. Very, very.
About a year,
I wouldn't
year
say-
and a half?
Maybe about less than in a year. But when he does, he would be more than happy to come. And I think in that moment, a guy who's about to eat barbecue has a show in about 3.5 hours, and it was unscheduled.
Let's not push it.
Let's not go to that point. Yeah, and I think he did very well to not force the issue.
Yeah.
Especially considering that no one was still here back at the office and you couldn't pull the interview off anyway.
Oh, I could have. I would have got Gardner on the phone. And
Yeah, I'm 10 minutes
fired it up.
away.
Oh, you would have came for that?
Oh, I would have come down to us.
I would have fired it up. Or honestly, it would have just been nice to have him in the studio. I'll turn my damn phone on if we can. I could have there, but then that too,
there were
where
a
it was
number
like
of ways
eh.
to make it work. You
Yeah.
could have done it studio. You could have done audio only if you had to push it that way. I mean, things could have been done. But recalling a conversation is just as fine sometimes.
Did
And-
he,
and-
did he have his
there's
food?
a-
By the way, when did his food come out? Were you
I made
basically
sure to,
before the food
I
came
was
out?
before the food.
Okay.
I talked to him when he sat down for a bit. We were chatting about the basketball game. My buddy Casey had to take off, and I made sure to give him space to order. To, you know what I mean? To interact with his server. That's awkward for a server too
Yeah.
if you're serving somebody famous. And thankfully, the folks at the Midwestern know me, and kind of that's our bag, right? Dealing with people. So for all they knew, I knew him, and we were just chatting. So it didn't want to make it awkward for the server either. So once they get their order and everything, it picked up the conversation a little bit more and talked a little industry, a little more stuff, found out some interesting things. So yeah, that was, but I even said it too. I was like, this is going to turn into a podcast if I keep talking to you. I'm going to get out of your face before your food gets here. So
and that's fine. Like,
there you go. Good play, Chris.
And I'll even, and because you might even, like, recalling the conversation, you might have tidbits you might not have gotten during a podcast format.
It was extremely disarming.
Right, because I'll give you an example. Like, one of my favorite guys to interview, or has been down at the ballpark, is Ron Washington when he's come through.
The great
And
Ron
we'll
Washington,
do-
former manager
we'll
of the
do
Texas Rangers.
Interviews on Fungo, but then when we're done with the interview, then that's really when the conversation starts. too.
Right.
And those are, and you can recall those. You don't necessarily have to tape them because you're not necessarily going to be getting the same responses. Like, we discuss cigarettes.
He's not going to talk about
Not
that.
going to talk about that while we're taping. We discuss, like, I made a joke about playing first base or something, like, in the movie
Moneyball.
Moneyball, this character says, you know, it's incredibly hard to play first base. And Ron has told me since then, it's not that hard. He said it's all, and then we were discussing this.
If you're a
afterwards.
major league caliber
Yeah,
athlete,
he's like,
we'll say
it's all
that.
about footwork, and then he pulls me out there, and we're doing footwork stuff.
With
That's
oh, that's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah, so
okay,
you
now
couldn't
that's
do
cool.
that
I
better.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like if you were doing a clip for the Daily Show, like they couldn't get that good.
Right.
Like,
So
that would be
that's-
amazing.
You're gonna get stuff like that when you're not, you know.
He did that?
Oh yeah,
Damn, now I wish he kind of became the
He's
Cardinals
fu-
manager.
oh,
That's
God,
really
he's-
awesome.
I adore him.
That is really
Absolutely,
dope.
I
That's
adore
pretty
him.
cool.
So I mean, you're not gonna get that stuff necessarily in a podcast or interview
Right.
format, but it's fine to recall, you know, what led to the conversation and what some of those details were.
Now, you've made fun of me in the past, and at times rightfully so, about my reticence to bother celebrities. I am a very, unless it's in a very natural social setting, even when they're in the vicinity.
By the way,
I don't
3
bother-
o'clock in the afternoon. Sorry, slow in there too.
Yes.
So that was
So
nice
that makes
too.
sense. So,
And
yeah.
it was in like an area where staff and owners were there, and we kind of gave each other the nod or whatever. But then it's also you're not drawing attention to someone who has 1 million followers. online.
which is why I'm also like I'm a little bit reticent. Like many years ago when we ran into Colin Kaepernick on the beach, I was I don't know if I want to buy this guy. It's 4th of July
Well,
weekend.
and then it proved
Do I
it.
really?
It proved it. We didn't want to take a picture because we were like, he's with a girl. We don't know if that's his girl. And not kidding you, half an hour later or half a day later, he had been wearing a Miami Dolphins hat, and it went viral that he was wearing a hat other than his own. And we're standing there next to him, and we were like, oh, we saw that hat on him. But we were exactly right, knowing that even a selfie in a certain situation
could come
turn that
off
out. And
to a thing.
anybody who talks smack about that guy, the guy's built like John Jones, by the
Yes,
way.
he's just
all of 6'6", 6'5".
all of it.
Yes, he's lanky, but he would mess up 90%
And again,
of the
so
population.
and then so you kind of I'm curious to get you guys' opinions on it because I've seen Chris work, I've seen you work, Gardner, as well, around certain celebrities, and I guess it depends on the situation. But I am very reluctant, again, unless they're in here or it's a natural conversational situation, to bother celebrities. I am very, and in that situation that's different. But I wonder, even if I was with Chris, how I don't know I would go up to Lewis Black, and that's just only because I have this mindset that most celebrities just would rather be left alone. Am I crazy in that thinking? How do you guys?
If you're a
in most
if you're a
situations-
nutcase and or annoying and cannot pick up social cues,
right?
yeah, beat it. Get it. Get
But
out
how?
of there.
But how often do we like? I don't think there's an expert at picking up in social clues. Now you can have attention to detail, certainly, but I think even when you think it's okay to talk to a celebrity, I think most celebrities don't want to be bothered.
I disagree.
Almost 98% of the time.
Dude, and this happens
You're
at all levels.
asking the
too.
wrong person though, because
Okay.
I, with a lot of things in my life, just kind of sit back and
Take it in.
observe.
Okay.
Whereas
That's-
I'll
So
just,
you're
I'll
a sit
just-
back kind of guy
That's-
anyway.
But that's my style.
Right.
That's
You
my
guys see me.
personality.
I'll just slide in, start chatting like we're old friends. But if there's any kind of whatever, I'll be like, hey, take.
But
it.
how do you know what's what?
You have to
Body
do,
language?
Yeah, you have to do what you're comfortable with too.
Right, because you don't want to
There's-
come
there's
across
not a-
like,
there's not
hey,
a-
what's up?
Yeah.
Right, do something weird
There's
like
not
that.
a formula
Yeah, it's
have those
it's like dating.
conversations.
It's like anything. If you're talking to somebody and they're not exactly giving it back to you or whatever, you need to just let's
But
give
what
them
if
some
it? Do
space.
you think sometimes though, with a guy like say Lewis Black or just comedians in general who have been on TV, you've seen them out before, who are just being polite? There are people who are just being polite who don't want to be bothered. Can we acknowledge that? There are people who
Yeah,
are.
you can pick up on that.
I don't think everyone does.
Oh no, they don't, and that's a problem.
So yeah,
But
so I guess that's my only
you're not-
thing.
A
like,
lot of times, alcohol is involved with people that
Yes.
don't realize.
yes,
Here's what you got to do.
Very true.
Because I've done it. I've been having a meeting with somebody who was on TV, and we were having coffee. And it's not a Starbucks. It was like a indie coffee shop that's, you're kind of in there with the 18 other people,
Sure.
right?
They're
Like
pretty-
you can all hear
pretty
each other's
close, very
conversations,
intimate on top
all
of each
that.
other. Yes.
And a guy came up, did the thing. The guy I was with was unbelievably accommodating. Took pictures. The guy interrupted us too. Neither of us. I was like, "Oh, get in there! Say hey to him. How often is it you see this guy out, right?" And then the picture's taken. "Oh, love your work. Yep, I'm in town at Helium. Come see me. Blah blah blah." And then by about minute 7 of guy not realizing a social cue or 9, that's when it gets like, oh, I see why people flip out. I see why. And this guy was not rude, just wasn't picking up that you kind of just interrupted a conversation and you got all you're going to get. And that's a lot, right? You're a fan of this guy. Let's give him some space after you just got a 3-minute conversation and a picture. That's great, right? How many opportunities you get like that? So you got to just know that. So I don't think it's a big deal. And again, Lewis Black also now, as you talk to other people, a notorious sweetheart, notoriously nice. So that says a lot about him too. So everybody's different. But I was just listening to
Gardner, can you go ahead and get to camera 1 for Chris? He's going to tell us about an episode of a podcast that only he listens to. Chris, go ahead.
me and about a
camera
million
1.
other people.
All right, what do we got?
The great Ron White,
And what podcast was he on, Chris?
the Joe Rogan Experience.
Okay.
It's a very relevant story.
Okay.
But it happens at all levels. He was explaining that he is from Texas
Right.
and he was going to meet Matthew McConaughey for the first time. And he was saying in his head, he played it up that Matthew McConaughey was going to basically bum rush him and be like, dude, we're from Texas. I love you. You're my favorite comic. It's amazing. Hey, what's up, man? What's going on? It didn't go like that. No. And Ron White is extremely famous
Very
and very
popular.
respected.
And very rich.
Very respect. Yeah, and very rich. So he goes up and he goes to shake his hand, and it was like a bunch of other people. And he said he shook his hand. He's like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" And he's like, "I thought I was gonna be smoking weed in a hot tub with him." And then he said, McConaughey goes, "Hey, great to meet you," and just kept moving along. But there, he said, because he moved along, there was a half a second thing where Ron should have said, "Love your work, man. That movie was so good." And he goes, for sure that would have opened up a conversation. They would have stood there and talked. Instead, he just goes, and McConaughey just went on.
Right.
Think about that.
No, that makes
Two, like Ron White, A-list comedian, especially in the respect and earnings department, A-list.
Yes. I
Right?
get that in the earnings
Because
department.
the blue collar thing was a nice gimmick and a bunch of money, but he can go to the
He does
comic-
well
like
now. I
he's-
think right now, I think
he's
about
not he's not looked at like other folks.
I think he's probably one of the top 40
He's a big
highest
time, yeah.
grossing comedians probably on the tour right now. So
Ever, yeah.
It's certainly a guy who makes a ton of money. I've always just been very reluctant in the past because I don't know. And I think it's a lot of it is projecting on my behalf because I would think that if I'm out in public with friends or family, I just wouldn't want to be bothered in general, especially if I'm at a restaurant by myself. And I'm not saying you cross any lines. I'm saying in general that my mindset is that most celebrities would just rather not be recognized. So unless, again, if it's a party setting, social setting where they're in the room and it makes sense, sure. But I am not one to go and bother other celebs. Now, especially when people come up to bother me, and I'm like, hey, man, can we
that
get an
happen a lot?
autograph? I'm like, hey, aren't you that guy? It's like, aren't you making that woke puppet for Sesame Street? I'm like, yo, bro.
You're going to make a woke puppet?
I'm like, bro, relax. I'm with no
This
one
is
because no
Snuffleupagus.
one actually wants to spend time with me. But that's fine. I'm by myself. Leave me alone. I don't got time to take pictures with your kids. I don't care about your grandma in a wheelchair. I'm trying to get a crave case.
Did you kick her?
No, it didn't go that far. That was horrible. By the way, what city was that in, Chris?
New York. See, she had rats on her. I was trying to get them off, officer.
Good God.
By the way, Travis, a restaurant definition. a place where people pay to sit and eat meals that are cooked and served on the premises. So that you don't have to say food restaurant.
Meal. What is a meal? Look that up. What's a
want me to look
meal?
meal
Meal can
up?
be anything. Meal can be.
You know where you can get a good meal?
Oh boy, here's the segue. Hold on to our butts, because I'm about to say I don't know.
Any of the regular occasions in a day when a reasonably large amount of food is eaten, such as breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Mr. Gardner?
Southtown Pub has great food.
Checkmate.
We've got comedy there this Thursday. You need to come out, support. Another great lineup for you. We have a young man by the name of Dwight Simmons coming in from Indianapolis.
Oh,
Travis.
Dwight Simmons of Indy. Okay.
Southtown Pub, South City's finest barbecue and comedy establishment. Come out, hang out, have fun with us. Free show at 8 p.m. this Thursday. That's Southtown Pub. By the way, it's patio season.
Let's hold your horses there, pal.
Yeah, I tell you what, I was outside most of the day yesterday, and it is patio season. Get to Southtown Pub, have a cold one, say hello to all of our friends at Southtown Pub, and then come visit us on Free Comedy Thursday at 8 o'clock.
Need to get the fair or foul out.
Ooh, fair or
We
foul.
got
What's
caught
the
up in
topic today, buddy?
conversation. This is in honor of Cam Newton. Cam Newton recently said that he is going to abstain from sex for a month to create a better focus in his mind.
So that would mean Travis
to
would be
challenge
so
himself.
focused.
Yeah. So
Times 20.
I thought we could make it today. Not having sex for a month to make your mind stronger.
Now, fighters will do this because they had this kooky thing about it. It raises your testosterone or something, when in reality, I think if you're having regular sex, it makes your testosterone go up.
Oh.
That's an old fighting
it
thing,
wrong.
though. A lot of boxing thing make you mean because you haven't had sex in a while. A month, huh?
Yeah.
That is, if we're going to dog years that, for an NFL quarterback that's out there, it'd be really funny if he was married to and talking like, he's like, all these groupies and all this stuff. An NFL quarterback that's a handsome guy like Cam, boy, that's like the rest of us taking 3 years off, right?
And this guy is in his prime, and I think.
Especially when he's literally like, he's dodging defensive ends, Travis, but more he's dodging, getting thrown at him. You know what I mean?
Man, and I think he was recently married about 2 years ago. I think he has 2 kids, if I'm not mistaken. Very beautiful wife. Yeah, I don't know.
She's like, he may be taking time off, but pool boy's here.
First of all, a month.
Can you imagine a scarier?
A month. Oh my God, gotta go 4 weeks without sex. Ooh, such a challenge. Okay, I guess.
That's celebrities, and
A
you
person
talk about
you're married
entitled.
to, you
Travis,
probably have had
yeah.
relations with for more than 2+ years.
Travis,
you got
talk
2
about
kids
entitled.
with.
Yeah, you talk about entitled. It's like there are people that are like, you know why I haven't had sex in a month? Because I'm paying bills.
Yes.
I don't see my wife. I don't see our kids. All we do is work, and then we hate
Because
each
I'm
other
stressed
and
out.
fall asleep.
Yeah, I don't. I guess. I don't know. Sure, I can.
Black Sheep says you'd be Mr. Universe by now.
I would
that
be
worked.
Professor X if that was the
that
case. I would be Stephen Hawking if that was the case, where you could increase your focus without having sex.
Shout out to everybody. We've got listeners in Colombia, some on the coast, everybody else. So thank you. We have babes in Colombia streaming.
And I don't believe the thought that it increases your focus. I don't know why. I don't know. That's a very weird thing to
I just
publicly
love when
express.
famous or celebrity people do very normal
It's-
things.
Right,
and
I'm not
they
gonna
act
have
as if
sex for 4 weekends. Okay,
Okay,
that's
right.
75% of married men in America. Okay, well, and
I guess it's maybe challenging yourself to resist something.
but he didn't say anything about
He
not
did not.
going to adult film sites and
Have you seen my
stretching a
Instagram
muscle or two.
DMs?
He didn't say
Yeah.
anything about that. So I get, okay, not having sex, but can you go a month without any assistance from anywhere else? Is he going to go the full month and putting up the Pornhub.com? Is he closing those websites off?
He doesn't need the websites.
I'm just
If your
saying.
mind is creative enough, you'll be just
Very
fine.
true, especially after 4 weeks. Your mind gets very creative. Not that I can speak to that on record. I can't say anything.
Things
to
become
that
a little
nature.
more sensitive to the touch.
Like, oh my. Oh.
You see him walking around. He's got the glove on like the dude in Mice and Men. Keeping it soft, huh? This is for me. This is self-care.
It's like the character on Sons of Anarchy where they basically chopped his fingers off so he could prevent from not having to do that to himself because he couldn't control himself. Like if that gets to that point where Cam Newton can
First
do
Sons
that,
of
then that's
Anarchy
another
reference on the show in a while.
thing. Black
talk
and brown, you got to stick together against green, brother.
Purple's coming up the 101,
Who's green? Is green the Irish? Who's purple?
We're used
Is
to-
purple? Is
Remember
that-
when they just
that
went
Brazil?
to Ireland?
Who is that?
They just went to
just-
Ireland?
Post 9/11 with automatic weapons.
What if
Like who flies into a foreign country post 9/11 with automatic weapons and criminals who are being tracked by the FBI?
what a fun
White privilege.
What a fun, exciting, and well-written show that turned into a steaming pile of hot garbage.
No, it was strong all the way up until like the last season.
last couple seasons.
Last couple seasons. Kinda
and
got
the
kinda-
ending was criminally bad.
It was pretty.
I've only seen a couple scenes from that show.
It's-
You know,
was-
it was, there were a few seasons that were like it was even
Yeah, I think, like,
emotional. Even it was
Seasons
good.
2 and 3 of Sons of Anarchy was something we hadn't seen on television. It was pretty.
Hold on, brother. We got a shipment coming through, and Yellow's pissed.
And then they had the fake
Who's
rap.
yellow?
Asians.
Asians.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's just.
Black and brown are not liking what this shipment looks like, brother.
And they found
Who's
out.
black and brown?
Yeah.
Mexicans and black people.
There you go. Yeah. They didn't. Yeah. It was pretty.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah. But say
It was.
biker clubs aren't generally known to be PC.
I wish we could color code everything.
Wait. What?
Not me. I'd have a hell of a time.
Yeah, you're colorblind.
Yeah. That is very difficult.
Be difficult for me.
Uh-huh.
I normally wear. That's a nice poll there with the Sons of Anarchy reference, though, Travis.
I enjoy
Normally we're having Jason Isbell references.
No, that's not fair. You can't squeeze that in like that. That's not how it works. I want a review.
You know who's not colorblind?
Oh, here we go.
Gateway powder
I
coating.
knew
That's
it.
right. Gateway powder coating. I believe Fancy Foyer is owed a $100 gift certificate from last week. Is that right? Didn't he win in the rock, paper, scissors matchup between Freed and Travis Stroll? I believe the Fancy Foyer is owed a $100 gift certificate to Gateway powder coating. You know what?
GPC, are you with me?
He can use that on patio furniture, smokers, wheels, anything you need powder coated, they can help. GatewayPowderCoat.com. Fast, durable, affordable. That's Gateway Powder Coating. Friend of the show, sponsor of the show. Go give Mark a hug out in the O'Fallon area. Can't say enough good things about Mark, Skylar, and the guys out of Gateway Powder Coating. Alex is all right too. He's a good dude. Well, you want to keep going? Green, red, purple. They can do it all.
Oh.
Guys, that's the first hour so far. You feeling good about everything? You got your green sweater on, looking like you're trying to work at Sesame Street. I like that. Gardner's here. It's Chris Denman. Check out midcoast.media. And I did this on Instagram. If you haven't yet, go to iTunes, throw us a 5-star review. That helps other people find the show. It helps us grow, and it allows you to have some fun with us in many different ways as we've got a bunch of things rolling out, and we need to keep growing the show. So check us out on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Throw a share out during the break. Share the show into your stream. Let's keep this moving. We're going to take a quick break, get some menthol into Gardner. It's Chris Denman, Travis Terrell, Chris Gardner. So we are live. We're back on the other side with the Great American Race.